Have you ever felt like you're living in a completely different reality than everyone around you? Like you're watching the world unfold from a distance, seeing patterns, connections, and truths that others completely miss? You try to explain it, but people just don't get it. They laugh it off, call you too sensitive, too deep, too intense. But deep down, you're seeing something real. Maybe you've walked into a room and instantly felt the energy shift before anyone even spoke a word. Maybe you've predicted how something would turn out only for it to happen exactly as you felt it would. Or maybe you've always sensed that there's more to life, something hidden beneath the surface, something no one else seems to notice. This isn't just your imagination, this is the INFJ mind at work, a mind that processes reality in a way that feels almost otherworldly. And today we're going to explore exactly why INFJ feel like they're living in a different reality and how their deep intuition, overthinking, and subconscious processing create a world that most people will never truly understand. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Let's begin. The INFJ unique mind. Have you ever felt like your mind works on an entirely different level, like you're living in a world that no one else seems to perceive? For INFJ, reality isn't just what's in front of them. It's what's beneath the surface, the emotions people don't say, the hidden motives behind their actions, the future outcomes no one else seems to predict. It's like watching a movie where you already know how it ends, but everyone else is still guessing. From a young age, INFJ pick up on things that others miss. You might have noticed how your intuition guides you, warning you about people who later prove untrustworthy or leading you toward decisions that, in hindsight, were absolutely right. It feels magical, but it's not. It's your subconscious processing mountains of information, analyzing, predicting, connecting the dots before your conscious mind even catches up. But this deep thinking has its cost. Overthinking becomes second nature. You replay conversations, searching for hidden meanings. You analyze every action, every word, wondering if you missed something important. And because so few people seem to notice these things, it can make you feel alone, like you're carrying a truth that no one else understands. But here's the thing, this unique way of experiencing life is not a burden. It's a gift. The challenge is learning how to trust it, how to use it wisely, and how to navigate a world that doesn't always see what you see. And that's exactly what we're going to explore next, seeing what others miss. Have you ever had a moment where you just knew something before anyone else even had a clue? Maybe you sensed a relationship was falling apart long before the breakup. Or you picked up on someone's real emotions even when they were smiling and saying, "I'm fine." This isn't luck. It's not a wild guess. It's the INFJ mind at work. INFJ don't just see the world, they decode it. Every conversation, every glance, every shift in tone, it all carries meaning. Most people take things at face value, but INFJ, they instinctively look deeper. They recognize patterns in behavior, unspoken truths, and connections that others miss entirely. Imagine walking into a room and instantly picking up on the energy, who's comfortable, who's hiding something, who's about to break down but is holding it all together. It's like seeing an invisible web of emotions and intentions while everyone else just sees people talking. But this ability goes beyond people. INFJ notice trends in society, shifts in relationships, and even future outcomes before they unfold. It's why they often feel like they're 5 steps ahead, but also why they struggle to explain what they see. Because how do you tell someone something they can't even perceive yet? And that's where the frustration comes in. INFJ see the truth, but the world isn't always ready to listen. So what do you do with this gift? How do you use it without feeling drained or misunderstood? Let's dive into that next. Feeling like an outsider. Have you ever been in a room full of people but still felt completely alone? INFJ often experience this strange disconnect, like they're part of the world but not really in it. Conversations feel surface level, interactions feel scripted, and while others seem content with the ordinary, you're stuck wondering about the why behind everything. Why do people act the way they do? Why don't they see the patterns you see? Why does it feel like you're speaking a different language even when you're saying the same words? It's not that INFJ don't want to connect. In fact, they crave deep, meaningful relationships more than most. But when your mind constantly explores unspoken emotions, hidden truths, and future possibilities, it's hard to find people who get you. You might have learned over time to hold back, to keep your thoughts to yourself because explaining them feels impossible. Or maybe you've been called too intense, too serious, or too deep, as if thinking beyond the surface is a flaw instead of a strength. And so you retreat, not because you dislike people, but because being around them sometimes makes you feel even more alone. But here's the thing, feeling like an outsider doesn't mean you don't belong. It means your mind operates on a different frequency, and While that might make connection harder, it also means that when you do find someone who truly understands you, the bond is unlike anything else. So how do INFJ navigate this isolation and find their people? Let's talk about that next. The overthinking trap. Have you ever replayed a conversation in your mind 100 times, analyzing every word, every pause, every possible hidden meaning? INFJ don't just think, they overthink. Their minds are like a never-ending movie reel, constantly running scenarios, predicting outcomes, and searching for deeper meanings in even the smallest interactions. It's both a gift and a curse. On one hand, this ability to analyze everything gives INFJ kind of superpower. They can anticipate problems before they happen, understand people on a deeper level, and make decisions based on insights that others completely miss. It's why INFJ are often seen as wise beyond their years. They've already thought through every possibility before most people even notice the first step. But here's where it gets exhausting. This constant mental processing never stops. A simple text message can turn into an hour-long analysis. A small change in someone's tone can spark an emotional investigation. Even moments of happiness can be interrupted by questions like, is this too good to be true? What if something goes wrong? And the worst part? Most of the time, these deep thoughts stay trapped inside because explaining them to others feels impossible. So how do INFJ break free from the overthinking trap? How do they balance their deep insights without letting their minds drain them? That's what we'll explore next. Living in two realities. Have you ever felt like you're living in two completely different worlds? On one side, there's your inner world rich with thoughts, feelings, dreams, and endless possibilities. It's a place where everything is connected, where emotions have depth, and where intuition guides you toward truths that others don't even see. It's the world where you truly feel alive. But then there's the external world, the one most people see. The world where small talk dominates, where conversations seem shallow, and where everything moves at a surface level. Here, you might feel like you're just going through the motions, trying to fit in, to act normal, but it all feels out of place. As an INFJ, navigating these two realities can be a constant struggle. The world inside your mind is filled with meaning and depth, yet the world outside often feels disconnected, even empty. You find it hard to relate to people who don't see things the way you do, and often you just want to retreat back to your inner world where everything makes sense. But there's a challenge in this. How do you function in a world that doesn't seem to understand or appreciate the complexity of your thoughts and emotions? The key is learning how to bridge the gap between these worlds, how to share your inner world with others without feeling drained, and how to navigate the outer world without losing sight of the depth and meaning that only you can see. Let's talk about how INFJ can do just that, why they struggle with small talk. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a conversation that just felt pointless? You know, the kind where people talk about the weather or the latest celebrity gossip, and you're just sitting there feeling completely disconnected. For INFJ, small talk can be one of the most draining experiences. It's not that they don't care about other people. It's just that their minds crave something deeper. They want to talk about real things, emotions, dreams, values, struggles, things that matter. But the world doesn't always work that way. Social interactions often revolve around surface-level topics, and INFJ can't help but feel frustrated or bored. They want to understand the why behind someone's actions or thoughts, not just the what. They want to connect on a deeper level, but it's hard to find people who are willing to go there. This constant disconnect can leave INFJ feeling drained. Small talk for them isn't just boring, it feels exhausting. The mental energy required to pretend to enjoy a conversation about trivial things takes away from the time and energy they could be using to process their real thoughts and feelings. So how do INFJ manage in a world full of shallow interactions? How do they find balance between craving deep conversations and surviving the everyday small talk that's inevitable? Let's dive into that next and explore how INFJ can navigate the social landscape while staying true to themselves. The INFJ gift of foresight. Have you ever had a gut feeling that something was about to happen before it actually did? Maybe you walked into a room and instantly knew the mood was off. Or you predicted how a situation would unfold, only to watch it play out exactly as you imagined. For INFJ, this ability isn't just intuition, it's a gift of foresight. INFJ often sense things before others even realize them. It's like having an inner compass that guides them toward the truth, even when it's hidden beneath the surface. They can feel the subtle shifts in energy, pick up on unspoken emotions, and anticipate outcomes that most people don't even consider. It's why they're often the ones who see problems coming long before anyone else does. But how do they do it? The answer lies in the INFJ deep intuition and subconscious processing. INFJ are constantly analyzing patterns, whether it's the way someone speaks, their body language, or even the energy in a room. They absorb this information and process it on a level that most people never even notice. Their mind works like a puzzle solver, constantly connecting the dots and predicting the bigger picture. This gift of foresight isn't always easy. Sometimes it feels like they're seeing a future that others can't comprehend. And because it's often hard to explain, INFJ may feel isolated or misunderstood. So how do INFJ learn to trust and harness this gift? Let's explore how this ability to predict outcomes can help them navigate life and why it's something to embrace, not hide. Embracing their unique perspective. Have you ever felt like your deep thinking and intuition make you stand out in a way that feels more isolating than empowering? As an INFJ, it's easy to feel like your mind is constantly working in overdrive, noticing things others don't, and thinking on a deeper level than most. And let's be honest, this can sometimes feel like a burden, like you're just too different, too intense, or too out of place. But here's the truth: your unique perspective is not a flaw, it's your superpower. Your deep thinking, heightened intuition, and ability to see beyond the surface are qualities that allow you to connect with the world in ways others can't. INFJ have the ability to understand the unspoken, predict outcomes, and perceive deeper meanings in life that many people miss. These aren't just quirks, they're strengths waiting to be harnessed. Instead of feeling like an outsider, INFJ can use their gifts to inspire change, spark growth, and bring deep understanding to the world around them. Your ability to see the bigger picture and understand complex emotions can guide you to relationships, careers, and passions that truly align with who you are. So don't shy away from your unique perspective. Embrace it. Use your intuition and deep thinking to create meaningful connections, pursue your passions, and make an impact that only you can. The world needs your depth, your insights, and your understanding. If you're ready to embrace your unique gifts and make your mark, drop a comment below. Tell us how you plan to turn your perspective into a strength and share your journey with us. Let's inspire each other to create something meaningful.